Hello again. I posted MBI 7394. Secretary John Kerry's son-in-law is Iranian. A viewer wrote, Curly Moe, Larry, and Kerry, the fourth and missing stooge. He is just smart enough to be dangerous. He is incapable of thinking for himself, and a great minion. Another clown in Bozo's circus. I will be glad when he is gone. Well, I suspect that this particular viewer won't be glad for a very long time, if ever. You have to ask yourself a question. Let's take a look at all the pieces of this puzzle. If you've watched my videos, I have said that I believe that Barack Hussein Obama is the Manchurian candidate. I believe he was created for the role that he's in by King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia. I believe that he was created for the role before he took his first breath. His mother, Ann Dunham, was, from what we've been told and what's readily available, a communist. We've been told that Frank Marshall Davis was a communist, and he was on a communist FBI watch list. We were also told that King Abdullah, I believe, knew you could not attack America head on. You can only attack America from within. Bill Ayers' father was CEO of Conrad Edison. I believe that he got together with Frank Marshall Davis, and they decided the only way to destroy America was once again from within. King Abdullah financed this project before Obama took his first breath. They needed someone other than Frank Marshall Davis to be his father, because they couldn't have the upcoming president be tied in with a known communist on the FBI watch list. Barack Obama Sr. was attending university as a student in Hawaii. They paid him, they threatened him, they coerced him, they did whatever to pretend that he was married. And there's no marriage certificate to substantiate that. There is a divorce decree, but no marriage certificate. Ann Dunham traveled to Kenya to give birth to this spawn of the devil. That's why they had to forge the birth certificate. Sheriff Joe Arpaio and Detective or Lieutenant Mike Zulu proved, without a doubt, that the document is an absolute forgery. They had experts determine that, experts to testify. This one particular expert was so well known that the firm that buried Barack Hussein Obama's past used to retain and hire this expert to investigate and evaluate documents for their authenticity. But that's a different story. When you take a look at the amount of time invested, the amount of money invested, another example of the amount of money invested was when King Abdullah gave $20 million to Harvard when Obama was supposed to have been a student there. We know for a fact that Obama never wrote a paper, yet we're told that he was president of the Law Review. I believe he's the only president of the Law Review at Harvard that did not write a paper. Again, the pieces of the puzzle. You take a piece from here, you take a piece from there, and you put it down on a board. Eventually, it paints a very clear picture. Excuse me. We also know that based on Obama's actions, he's always defending Muslims. There's never been an instant where he hasn't come to the defense of a Muslim, irrespective of the proof against that Muslim. For example, the Fort Hood shooting. Major Nadalha's son, his business card read, "Soldier of Allah." Eyewitnesses heard him screaming, "Al-Akbar." They found emails between Major Nadalha's son and Anwar al-Awlaki. For those of you that aren't familiar with Anwar al-Awlaki, he was proven to be a Muslim terrorist. Barack Hussein Obama eventually vaporized him with the Hellfire drone missile. A couple of weeks later, Barack Hussein Obama also vaporized Anwar al-Awlaki's son. Both of these individuals were American citizens, whatever happened to due process. But that's a different story. So now you've got this investment since 1961, prior to 1961. Do you honestly think that after the mind-blowing expense they have gone through, all the deception that they've gone through, Obama's work isn't completed? What's his objective? Well, I believe his objective is to destroy the American way of life. He's made it clear more than once that he believes that America was the oppressor for many countries, Kenya being one of them. His grandmother said he was born in Kenya. His supposed stepbrother is willing to provide DNA evidence. He doesn't believe that Barack Obama is in fact his biological stepbrother. The pieces of the puzzle all fit. You know, I started a couple of years ago, I wanted to see pictures of Michelle being pregnant. I was amazed that there weren't any. And then when I started looking at other presidents' wives, I actually did a video, and I attached the link, showing all of the other presidents' wives, all of them, that were available on the web. Yet there wasn't a single one of Michelle. I've done countless videos on Obama's homosexuality with Larry Sinclair. A homosexual is not going to marry a woman. I've done videos on the church that Obama spent 20 years at with Reverend Wright. Reverend Wright ran the Down Low Club. The Down Low Club is unique. It's to allow wealthy African Americans to go under the radar with their lifestyle. These two daughters aren't biologically their daughters, I don't believe. I think the first one was given to them by Reverend Wright. The second one, they returned from Morocco with the second one, and I think it was in 2000. These children are innocent, and you have to feel sorry for these children. They have to know that there's something unusual about Michael. Obama spent his first number of years bringing about acceptance to homosexuals. 2 years ago, the Supreme Court ruled that marriage is between a man and a woman. That's what they ruled. This is the same Supreme Court that now ruled otherwise. The pieces of the puzzle all fit. Homosexuals represent less than 4% of the population, yet they've turned the country completely upside down. Obama wants acceptance for his lifestyle. Now, homosexuality is accepted everywhere. The push now is for the American people to accept transgenders. If you take a look at what's been going on, Bruce Jenner, Serena Williams, the latest fiasco that's been introduced is devastating to many young fans. The rock star isn't a male. Bieber is a female. Justin Bieber is a female. The reason this is all coming out now is this administration wants us to realize and accept transgenders. Look at the success they've achieved. While in Serena Williams' case, she should be sent to prison, and so should its father, because that's what it is, it's an it. The reason it should be sent to prison is because it stole the hopes and dreams of countless women that worked for who knows how long to become tennis professionals. And this freak and this freak's brother stole their dreams along with $500 million. You know, we found out how corrupt the International Soccer Association is. Guess what? So is the International Tennis Association. Nothing is real. This is like world wrestling entertainment, fixed entertainment. We know that Barack Hussein Obama enjoys his lifestyle with his family. We also know that he's commissioned new Air Force Ones. He's worn out the existing Air Force One. And there's talk about a command center being built. Do you think he's building that for Hillary? Why do you think there's no one from the Democratic Party other than Hillary running of any consequence? Why do you think they brought out all this information about Hillary and her foundation, the criminal aspects of her foundation? Well, what I think is going to happen is Barack Hussein Obama, in the 11th hour, prior to the nomination, is going to come out and have Hillary arrested by the Attorney General for her crimes within the foundation. And she's no longer going to be an entity. And then he's going to come out and say, we have no one to further what needs to be furthered. If the Republicans take control, they're going to destroy your Obamacare. They're going to go after all of the achievements that he said he's done for the benefit of the American people. They're going to destroy his immigration policies. They're going to remove all the sanctuary cities by defunding them with federal programs. The only one that can keep things status quo and ensure that they stay status quo is Michael. And by that time, the American people will be brainwashed to accept transgenderism the same way as they've been brainwashed to accept homosexuality. I'm hoping that that effort to have the Supreme Court rehear the definition of marriage takes place with 2 less Supreme Court justices that needed to have been recused to begin with. Ruth Ginsburg and Elena Kagan were already predisposed as to what they intended to do, since they both officiated at gay weddings on more than one occasion. The whole thing's insane. Take a look at all these events that are happening in such close proximity. Have we ever had a time in our history that it's been like this? You got the Baltimore event, you got the New York event, you got that cop shooting that black man in the back. I think that was in, where was that in? In the Carolinas, I believe it was in South Carolina. You got the shooting in South Carolina. You got the shooting in Tennessee. Now you got the shooting in Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana. Do you sort of notice an accelerated pattern of terrorism taking place? You think that's going to subside? You're not thinking. That's all part of their long-term plan. I don't know, folks. You know, I talk, I post, I talk, I post, I talk, I post. Nothing changes that's beneficial to the American people. The only suggestion that I have, which probably won't make much difference to anyone, is to hound your congressional representative. Demand that the Sergeant of Arms remove the usurper from the White House. If he's allowed to remain, he's not going to leave. One way or another, he will remain in power. That's sort of what I think. The pieces of the puzzle all fit. You know, I really thought that Benghazi would end this nightmare. Like I thought that Fast and Furious would end this nightmare. It probably would have, if Obama wouldn't have done what he did by exerted executive privilege to protect Eric H. Holder Jr. over Fast and Furious. Congressman Darrell Issa was closing the noose around the Attorney General's neck when Obama intervened. The only way the president can bestow executive privilege on someone else is if he was involved with that someone else, which he adamantly denies. How come Congress doesn't look at that? You know why? Because they're all in the bag. There isn't a Republican Party. They have melted in to the Democratic Party. Sort of sad. What's sad is nothing seems to be able to be done to end this madness. That's sort of what I think. He's not leaving. One way or another, he's staying exactly where he is. His work's not done. And when it is done, you'll know it.